Netflix knows what you want to watch before you do. Amazon knows what you are about to buy before you click add to cart. Your bank flags a fraudulent charge on your card second after it happens. Sometimes before you even notice your wallet is missing. None of that is magic, by the way. It's entirely and purely data analytics. And by the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly how it works. So, the four types of analytics that power almost every smart decision a company makes. The process behind running the raw, messy data into some real insights and a case study coming up that's honestly might be the clearest example of this whole idea I've ever seen. So there's already a saying that you probably heard of, data is the new oil. I actually think that's the only half right. Oil is useless until it is refined. Same with data, right? Raw data just sitting in the spreadsheet is not worth anything on its own, right? The real value, the new currency, as they say, is the insight you pull out of it. I repeat, the real value, the new currency, as they say, is the insight you pull out of it. And that's what this whole video is about. So, what is data analytics? In plain English, it's the process of digging through the new data to find out patterns, trends, answers you actually act on. That's it. No mystery, no magic. But here's where it gets interesting. There is not just one kind of data analytics, there are four. And honestly, the easiest way to understand them is to think about trip to the doctor. The first, descriptive analytics. So what is data analytics? In plain English, it's the process of digging through the new data to find out patterns, trends, answers you actually act on. That's it. No mystery, no magic. But here's where it gets interesting. So, descriptive analytics, this is just answers what happened. For example, the doctor takes your temperature, right, and says you have a fever. That's descriptive, the description he has provided. It's summarizing what already occurred, no interpretation yet, right? The second is the diagnostic analytics. Now, this answers why did it happen. So, first one questions was what happened, and second is diagnostic analytics. This answers why did it happen. Now, the doctor digs deeper. For example, runs some tests, ask questions to figure out why you have that fever in the first place. And then he goes to the third one, which is predictive analytics. So this answers what's likely to happen next. Using what? Using statistics and machine learning. Right? Predictive analytics says what likely to happen next using stats and machine learning. Now, how it goes, this is totally a part of data analytics as we move forward. But yes, which is just computer programs that get better at spotting patterns the more data you feed them. The more data you feed, the more better results you will get out of stats. Now the doctor might say, okay, based on your history, you are at risk of happening this again. Now this leads to the fourth type of analytics, which is known as what? Prescriptive analytics. Now this answers what should we do about it. Right? The doctor writes you prescription. here's the action to take based on everything we have just learned or discussed. So what happened, why it happened, and what's likely to happen, and finally what you want to do about it. Every single analytics tool, dashboard, or report you'll ever see is really just answering one of those four questions. Now keep that framework in your back pocket, right? It's going to make everything else in this particular video click into the place. Okay, so with that, let's move ahead. Okay, so why does any of this actually matter? Okay, Rahul, we discussed 4 types of analytics, but why do they matter, right? Think about how much information hits you in a single day. Now imagine running a company with thousands of customers, transactions, data points, and making decisions of gut feeling alone. Ki haan, I feel this should happen. No, there's not feeling, right? There's not gut feeling alone. That's a recipe of expensive mistakes. What expensive mistakes? You simply go with gut feelings. Okay, this is what I think. No. Now, data analytics take that overload and turns it into clarity. And it shows up the 3 big ways. Number 1, better decisions. You are making calls based on evidence, not guesswork. Number 2, cost reduction. You can actually see where the money and resources are being wasted instead of guessing. And number 3, performance optimization. Now, what do I mean by performance optimization? Which is fancy way of saying you are constantly tracking your key numbers and improving them over time. I repeat, it's a fancy way. Performance optimization is a fancy way of saying that you are constantly tracking your key numbers and improving them over time instead of checking in once a year and hoping for the best. Right? So the bottom line is, कहना क्या चाहते हो? So the bottom line is that the companies that use their data well move faster and waste less than companies that don't. And my dear friends, that is the whole pitch. Everyone with me, right? Now let's talk about how this actually happens. So before, raw data doesn't magically turn into nice dashboard. There's a process, right? There's a process, 4 steps. And honestly, it's like cooking a meal. So step 1 is collect. You gather your ingredients, data from like what? Databases, websites, sensors, applications, wherever it lives in. In cooking terms, this is your grocery run. Easy. Step 2 is prepare. You have probably heard the term ETL thrown around, right? That stands for extract, transform, load. All it really means is pull the data out, clean it up, organize it so it is usable. In our kitchen analogy, this is washing your vegetables and chopping them up. Nobody wants to cook with dirty, unsorted ingredients, right? And nobody wants to analyze the messy and unsorted data either. So, which leads to step 3, which is analyze. Now you are actually cooking, right? Using statistical tools or machine learning to find the patterns hiding inside that particular clean data. Right? So step 1 was collect, step 2 was prepare, step 3 was analyze. Now step number 4, very important, visualize an act. You plate the dish and serve it. In business terms, that means that building dashboards or reports that present your findings clearly and then critically actually using those insights to make a decision. A beautiful chart nobody acts on is just a decoration, right? So collect, prepare, analyze, visualize, and act. You miss a step and the whole meal falls apart. Same goes for the analytics process. Agree? Okay. So quick rundown of the tools that actually make this happen, because you will hear these names thrown around a lot. So for crunching numbers and building models, people use Python, R, SAS, majorly Python. For storing, querying a huge amount of data, there's a SQL, BigQuery, Snowflake, MongoDB. And for that prepare step, we just talked about that ETL process. There's a Alteryx, Apache Airflow, Talent, and for turning it into visual, people can actually understand. There's a Power BI, Microsoft product, Tableau, Salesforce product, Looker, and Google Data Studio. So these are the few data visualization tools. Now you do not need to memorize all of these, guys. All right. Just know there's a tool for every stage of that four-step process we just covered. Right. Here's a quick gut check for you. I just want to know. Think about the last time a streaming app recommended you to show you actually what you loved, right? Or the last time an app told you a package would arrive between 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. and it did. That was not a lucky guess. That was an analytics working in the background. And most of us don't even notice it anymore. Let's look at the two industries where this is playing out right now. Retail industry. In retail, analytics powers those yearly accurate product recommendation. For example, the customers who bought this also bought that. You must have seen it, right? Customers who bought this also bought that suggestions, and it helps companies. It really helps those companies to optimize inventory by forecasting demand before it happens instead of reacting after the shelves that are already empty. In healthcare, it is even more high stakes. Hospital use, like Fortis Hospital, right? Let's take an example. Hospital use analytics for patient risk scoring, flagging who who are the patients who are at higher risk for certain conditions before symptoms even shown up, right? And for planning hospital resources more efficiently. Yes. So the right staff and the equipment are in the right place and at the right time. Two completely different industries, same underlying idea, turn data into decision before the problem happens instead of after. So let's bring it all together. Three things I want you to walk away with. Number one, data is a strategic asset, but only when it's analyzed with actual purpose. Data sitting unused is worthless, right? Number two, analytics improves decision making, efficiency, and innovation. but only when someone actually acts on what it reveals, right? But only when someone actually acts on what it reveals, right? Number three, and this is the big one. The value was never really in collecting the data. The value was never really in collecting the data. It's in the understanding it. Anyone can gather numbers. Literally, anyone can gather numbers. The skill, the thing that actually matters is knowing what those numbers are trying to tell you. So that is data analytics. What it is, the four types, how the process works, the tools, and real examples of it changing outcomes for an actual business, right? Data was never really about the numbers. It's about understanding what is underneath them. If this helps things click for you, do me a favor, hit a like, drop a comment. Let me know which of the four analytics type you think is the most useful. And obviously, subscribe if you want more breakdown like this one. Thank you for watching.